I take a special kind of like sense of inspiration from your story, Michael, in the sense that, when I started investing in properties and I picked up my first three was not my peak earning years. In fact, it was the opposite. Right. Like I got in at a time where I was just like, man, I'm doing all this risky stuff. I need something safe. And obviously the team thing was very real for me because I get to see the team every day here. And I also was living in the Jacksonville market, seeing special things happening and wanting to set myself up for success. But what really inspires me from your story is that you've been able to take these like inflection points, right? Like I was just talking to Greg about doing Pilates with him on weekdays. And he's like, why hadn't you considered this before? And I was like, Greg, I was in a different financial position before, right? Like now, as I'm reaching this point in my life where I am a high earner and I do have these, like what we were talking about before the call, Michael, this idea of just like, well, where am I going to put my cash moments? It's really, really inspiring for me to hear there is like, as long as you're in the game and this thing, it's doing its thing, the moments in your life where you get those extra windfalls and you get those extra moments to like push more chips into it continues to compound in ways that are nonlinear. I hear your story and it was like, it sounds very nonlinear. It sounds like you started in 89, you built up a little bit, and then 2016, you went back in for a big bite of the apple. And then again in like 2020 to 2023, and boom, you're freaking retired, man. Like it's really impressive to me.
Well, I always say real estate it's a long, boring road. It's very long, it's very boring. You just kind of have to make sure that you're in it for the long haul.
Doesn't he just speak my language? Long, boring, stay in the game for the long haul. It's like we're brothers from another mother, man.
And Pablo, to tag on to what you just said a second ago is, during my peak working years, I was making good money. When you're making good money, you don't need to be making a ton of cash flow off of your rental property when you're making good W-2 money, because that just means you're putting yourself in another tax bracket. If anything, you want to have as little cash flow as possible. So you want to grow your portfolio as fast as possible. Every dollar you get, put it into another down payment, another down payment, another down payment. So if you're making $300-400 positive cash flow, that's great while you're making good W-2 money. Then you can start paying those off. And then when you stop working, you're not getting taxed. Because if you go out and you're making good money and you pay cash for a house and you're making an extra $1,500 a month, you're paying full-blown tax on that $1,500 cash flow a month, as opposed to paying tax on $300 and building equity.
It's a really important concept. And I don't know if we've ever talked about that specifically, but when we talk about tax savings, you get so much more tax savings by buying financed properties than you do by buying properties in cash, which is what Michael's talking about here.